I mean, he starts off and like 2 minutes in, he's lying. And I want to emphasize, this is not, well, I see both sides. No. There is zero credible evidence. And one of the things I say, it's like, well, there's been all these reports of reshoots. You're doing that, asshole. The call is coming from inside the building. And this is what drives me fucking nuts. It's because one of these guys, it's Saturday Night Live 50. One of these guys called out, like in 2022, not that long ago, he called out Doomcock for doing what they are doing right now, which is sharing like Reddit threads and rumors as, oh, I've got an insider. No, your insider has a Reddit account. You're just reading bullshit. It's like how I talked about on Once Upon a Time in America, where somebody wrote the Wikipedia plot summary. Like, they rewrote it just like 2 days before it came out. So you're like, oh, he probably saw like a screening. Just made a completely fake final act for it. Actually a pretty cool final act. Like, it was actually pretty awesome. It was like Bruce Lee at the Manson Ranch. It was fucking cool. Totally fake. But I want...
Now, I listened to Richard Myers, Zack, right? Comics with your boy, Zack. This is my response. And I'm not defending anybody. I've looked at very legitimate people like Jeremy Johns. And also Dave Cullen. I don't think Zack's heard of those guys or he would have been paying attention, okay? Now, if you look at Jeremy Johns and Dave Cullen, they'll say the movie's all right. Paraphrasing, not using exact words. The movie's all right. A little bland. Alcohol required. Not worth watching again. From what I've seen and the results of the money that came in, I would say that Captain America, Brave New World, as opposed to New World Order, is whatever it is. What I'm ascertaining, I have not seen the movie. I will tell you that I have not seen the movie. I don't plan to because, like I've said before, I'm not a big MCU fan. I like the last movie, Civil War. I mean, you got Captain America, Winter Soldier, you got Civil War, and then Brave New World, if you are going in title movie sequence and not ignoring the phases and all that and the crossovers of how this MCU works and maybe the comic book tie-ins or whatever. So I would say it's worth a rental. It's worth a rental. You might like it, you might not. It's not woke, but it's definitely broke. And that's what I'm getting the intelligence side without having to see this movie. I can't tell you the movie's bad. I can't tell you the movie sucks. But the movie will likely not get you hard or giving you an orgasm, if you're a female, for the next one. You might wait for Fantastic Four. You might wait for Thunderbolts because everybody's been saying Thunderbolts is a little bit better. And then there's Avengers Doomsday next year, whatever. It's whatever it is. It really is truly whatever it is. But what Zack was doing was trying to say it's only man baby or birthday party clowns. Now, there's a lot of people that talk at you. A long time ago, it was Tom Likas. Even though Tom Likas turned off his personality when he turned off the on-the-air light and just went home, right? But he was doing a radio show where people, instead of YouTube comments, people called in and complained or they praised Tom, right? Or Howard Stern. We're in YouTube land. So you just read the comments instead of like phone calls coming in. I think Eric July did phone calls. Don't like Isom, don't defend Isom. Okay. I think Jeremy Griggs can be a smart man. I do think that he will shill. Everybody will shill the same thing, but that's been going on for years. Remember when Mecha Random 42 was part of the group and they would all shill the same things. Anna, that Star Wars girl, had way more content. Mary Mayhem is not on as much. Do you see some people used to be there a lot? Jesse Milestone's not really there in the picture. So everybody's kind of gone off in different directions. Everybody's turned on each other. Ethan Van Sciver used to be part of Team Jeremy, or there used to be, what is it? Submit to the High Council. That High Council's gone. There were a lot of things that used to be around in abundance. Poppy has a long memory. Getting into a stupid fight with, what's his face? Josiah Rises. Josiah thought he was like going to surprise me. Like I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. I knew who Josiah is, and I know who everybody is. So does Zack. But the problem is Zack is trying to argue is that he's trying to argue that the only people who don't like Captain America are the people who don't watch it or pretend to watch it or watched 10% of it. But the thing is that there were people who actually watched it and weren't trying to come off as big personalities. Jeremy Johns is one. He honestly saw the movie, didn't like it as much as he was hoping for. Another person, I think it was, what is that guy? Ethan. Not, is it Ethan? I forget. I forget this guy's name. What? Right. So that's Channel Awesome, Ethan, right? I think he does cameos and stuff. So, or he does charity events. He meets a lot of celebrities. So I believe he saw it. So he saw it. Chris Stuckman gives nice reviews. So I don't know if he's going to be very honest in his stuff. But Jeremy Johns gives honest reviews. He liked the Star Trek trilogy with J.J. Abrams, and I like it too. And who else? And then it was Dave Cullen. And Dave Cullen's on the right side of politics, okay? So, and he said, and then the thing is that baffled me is that Zack said it did very, very well in the money it received, the revenue. 194 million was it reported? And the movie was 108. The movie was reported 180 million to make. So it only made 14 million. It's like, how do I say this? It's like you spent so much money trying to sell wares at the swap meet. Okay, you're selling shoes, you're selling books, you sell records, you sell CDs, CD players, CD holders, board games, toys, jewelry, dishes, cups, and you spent like maybe let's say a few $100s, and you get about, let's say 500, you get $505. So you only made $5. Wow. Okay, so you made a $5 profit off of all the stuff you sold. They virtually broke even on this movie. They virtually broke even. They didn't make a lot of money. They made enough money to pay some people and keep them at work, but that's about it. This movie likely is not as good as everyone had, or likely is good. If Zack can enjoy the movie, that's his right. He can like the movie, but I think it's about as not good as some of the people who have seen it said it was. Like it was just not that good. So I have no real dog in this fight. Fantastic Four is the only thing I'm looking forward to. And I'm assuming that these four actor characters are going to run into Robert Downey Jr. somewhere down the road in Doomsday. One could safely assume. Red Hulk only has 3 minutes. I guess that's shorter time than Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader in Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, I'm just not feeling on this. I would say to Zack, look at all the people. Yeah, that's not a great... When we think of real profit, right? If it was the year 2000 or the year 1996, right, and it made $194 billion worldwide, that's like payday. Now you need $1 billion to really be like, oh my God, this is the Jesus come of movies. Okay? This is the Virgin Mary's vagina of movies. This is it. You got to go see this movie. This is not $1 billion movie. Disney would probably try to sell it like it is because you got a man of color in the Captain America suit fighting the Red Hulk. You got Harrison Ford. They were trying to really sell this movie. And I believe that they had reshoots, but it doesn't matter if they had reshoots or not. What we saw was what we saw, or what you saw was what you saw, right? It's just like Joss Whedon's Justice League. Well, it didn't do very well, so eventually the other version came out. And that other version is better. So I don't know if we're going to get another cut of this movie, but it doesn't matter. There's like, we got to, what is it? Joe Rogan says, new ones. We got to hurry up and get this piece of shit out so we can make the next one. And so Now they're focused on Thunderbolts, and they'll be focused on Fantastic Four, then they'll be focused on other Avengers. Then maybe Spider-Man will come back. I don't know. But all I know is that I try to enjoy these stories in isolation, and maybe if there is a way of continuity, like, maybe Joker leads to Joker 2, could lead to Batman Begins, could lead to Dark Knight, could lead to Batman v Superman or Man of Steel. Maybe you could chain them together and create one complete story. Or like Spider Man No Way Home leads into Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. Or connecting Venom, the first movie, to Into the Spider Verse with Miles Morales because there's a post credits scene with the trailer preview. I don't know. I try to enjoy the stories in isolation. I just don't care. I don't care anymore. Whatever's good is whatever's good. That's all. That's all there is to it. And see this movie on rental if you haven't had a chance yet.